CIV305. Today I'll be walking through the foundation, trash enclosure foundation plan assignment. And I've opened up AutoCAD, and I just want to make a comment about opening AutoCAD. When you open AutoCAD, give it a minute before you start clicking on buttons to open your next file, because I find that if you start immediately trying to click open file before it's fully loaded, it will crash. So, and it can be a little bit fussy like that. So if it starts crashing, open it, walk away, come back, give it 30 seconds to a minute. So I'm going to start here by open to open up my project setup. So I'm going to open that. And this is the setup drawing that we made before. And I'm immediately going to rename this file. So I'm going to call it Save As. And I'm actually going to go into Assignments, into my foundation drawing. And so Ellison, CIV305, Summer, and this is my trash foundation plan. So I'm going to save that. And I can, I'm actually in Paperspace right now, so I think I could start either in Paperspace or in Model Space, but I think I'm going to start in Model Space. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move these. These were kind of my setups. I'm just going to move those over. I just used my move command, selected and moved them over. And I do have a dual screen setup here. And what you're not seeing is on my other screen, I actually have the architectural floor plan that I'm looking at while I'm drawing. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just start with some walls. And I'm just going to, I could use my rectangle command. Maybe I'll do that. Actually, I think I'm going to start with my line command. So I'm going to hit, I'm going to hit L for line and start with the line. And this is not in the right layer. So if I click on this and go to layers, I can put this into walls. That's what I want it to be on. And then I'm going to use my copy tool to copy this and place the next wall over. So copy. I'm going to select this. And then if I click over, it's actually asking me the second point. So here, I can actually hit 20 feet, and that's going to put that wall at 20 feet over. And then I can hit line, L, and I'm going to draw the back. You can see my snaps are on. So down here are my snaps, and you can toggle them on and off. I like to snap to the ends, and those are ATP control down here. So I am snapping, so I snap there, and I snap now. That I'm still in the wrong layer. So I can use the match command, so MA, and then I can click on the what I want, and you'll see this little paintbrush, and it matches that. Now, if I want to keep drawing in the layer that I want, I would need to select it here. So now I can take this. I can use my copy command. I can take this to create the front, which is, let's see, 10 feet 8. So I can plug in 10 foot 8 inches, and that moves it there. So now I kind of have the box. So a couple other tools that are my favorite I'll show you. I do like the fillet command, so F. And what that's going to do is it's asking you what's the first one I want to fillet, and I'm going to select that one. And then it's going to ask my second one, and essentially it's going to make a box. So just kind of creating this box. So this is my 20-foot box. Now I can use the offset tool to create the thickness of my walls. And so that is O. And it's asking me for a dimension. Well, it's an 8-inch wall. And so I can come in and offset. Actually, I think I offset it to the wrong side. I offset it to the outside, but I'm going to offset to the inside. And here I'm going to erase this one. So now I have my walls, and then I'm going to use my fillet command again because I don't want to have these two lines showing up. So I could use my fillet. I also could use the trim command, TR, in which I could select this line. Whoops. Now I didn't want to do that, so I'm going to hit undo. So I'm going to hit trim, and I think I'm trimming this one, and then I'm going to trim this one. So there are my walls, and perhaps I even want to trim this one. Trim is still selected, so I can roam around the drawing and trim, and you can see it grays out what I want to trim. I don't know that I want to trim that. Actually, let's see, let's trim. Yeah, maybe I will trim that. So here I have my walls. These are my primary walls here, and I do have another wall section here. So I can actually copy this. Whoops, I can copy. I can take this, and I'm going to go from this edge, and I'm going to copy this over 4 foot 8 inches. There it is. And then I can use my fillet command again to connect these two. And actually to connect these two if I want. And then I can use my trim command to get rid of that guy. And I actually have a door here that I need to deal with, and this wall is shorter, but I'll come back in and essentially what I can do here is I can say copy this line here, and this one wants to be 6 foot 8. And then I can use my fillet command to fillet those two together and fillet these two together. And I do have a door here, and that door, so that door is 6 feet from this side, so I can copy this, take it over. I'm going to copy it 6 feet over. So that's my door. So there's actually no wall right here, so I can use my trim command and trim this wall. So we're walking through here. So essentially what I've just done in this first series, and I think I'm going to pause here, is I've created my walls, my masonry, 8-inch masonry walls. So I think I'm going to, let's actually throw some dimensions on there, and then I'll pause. So again, dim, and I want to put a dimension on. Now again, it's really small, so I want it to be big, and I also want it to be in this layer. So I can use my match command, MA, and I can select my source. And so here that's 24 foot 8. So we have that 20 foot section plus that 4 foot 8 section. And I can also throw some other dimensions using dim. And I want to dimension that here. I'm going to throw all these dimensions on, and then I'll use my match command to get them the way they should. So I'm just dimensioning these walls here. There we go. And I can hit match and match. Now I'm getting some sort of error here. I'll have to look into why something's disassociated. So I'll have to look in to see why it's doing that. But essentially, here I now have my walls and some dimensions to my walls. We can see that's 20 feet, that's 6 foot 8, that's 10 foot 8, so that matches. So let's stop here, pause here, we're almost at 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to draw my footings and my slab and my columns and finish up putting the other things on it. And so we're at part 2, coming back to part 3 shortly.